on Excellent Simplified. Before I commence, let me be sure you're hearing me. So if you can hear me, just drop in the comment section. I can hear you. If you can hear me clearly, drop it in the comment section. I can hear you. I'll be waiting for that in the comment section. Just drop I can hear you if you can hear me. Is someone with me? Can someone hear me? If you can hear me, drop it in the comment section. I can hear you, so I can move on. All right, I'll be waiting for others to join. So just give me some time. Be waiting for others to start to join. Okay, so I'll be moving on now. So we have to start. While we wait for others to join, we have to start. Now, this live stream is all about everything you need to know about your IT defense. Everything you need to know about your IT defense. So I'm going to be saying everything you need to know, because this IT, you must have an A. Yes, you must have an A. Like, having an A in IT is everything. Having an A in IT does everything to your CGPA. If you have a B, some persons, they're okay with having a B in IT. That's wrong belief, or that's wrong. How do I call it? Having a B in IT is very bad. It's very wrong. It's very bad. This IT is like a free A, free parallel A. Do you know if you have A in IT, that's parallel A? Because that's the A. That's the only course you did that semester. So having A in IT, you've gotten parallel A for that semester. Just imagine you did 10 courses and you got A in the 10 courses. That's how it is if you have A in IT. Do you get? So don't even think of a B. To get an A in IT is very simple. You can easily get it. It's very simple. It's just follow steps, follow procedures, and you get the A. It's like free A. IT is like free A. So without further ado, I will be starting now. All right. So let me run through what I'm going to touch in this video, and I'll make it as short as possible, because there are some persons that have not still touched their topic. Like they need that possible questions. So after this live stream, after this section, still in this video, I'll be giving possible questions. So before the end of this video, you'll be dropping your topics when it's time, and I'll be giving you possible questions. All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about in this video, in this live stream, is how to overcome stage fright. That's the very first thing I'll talk about, how to overcome stage fright. You know, some persons, they have that stage fright. They will master their slide very well. That is why I said IT defense goes beyond knowing what is in your slide. Some persons, they will master their slide very well. They will get to know everything they say very well. But once they get to that place, in fact, once somebody before them have started defending, or more, the body don't they shake. They are now afraid. You get, can I really do it? And when it gets to their turn, looking at the lecturer says, the professor says, maybe some of them are not smiling. Your mind don't reach your village. Like, you don't know what to say again. All the things you were saying perfectly, you cannot remember anything again. So I'll be addressing stage fright and how to overcome it. Simple step to overcome stage fright. Good. The second thing I'll be talking about is method of presentation. So method of presenting, even if you've known your topic, there are methods to presentation. So I'll be talking about the method of presentation. In the method of presentation, I'll be talking about how to start. As you enter there, how do you start? Then the next thing, how to conclude. Those are the two important things in your presentation: your beginning and your ending, starting and ending. So I'll be giving you a pro way of starting and a way of ending, because once you start, you are giving them a first impression, and the first impression you give them is how they are going to grade you, and they are grading you immediately. Do you get? So what is determining your A is, what is this your defense? So all those reports and all those stuff, and it has little mark, but this defense is what is actually determining if you get an A or not. Trust me on that. Your COS supervisor, some of you they give you A, some of you they give you B, and leave all those things. COS supervisor is just 20 marks. It's just 20 marks. So that one contributes little or less. little to your A. This defense is a major thing, is a banger, is a major thing you are facing. All right, so I'll be talking about how to start, how to conclude, and how to respond to questions when you are asked questions. How to respond to questions when you're asked questions. All right. Now, the after method of presentation, I'll be talking about dressing. Some persons have asked that a lot, and then I'll talk about other things as we go on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay. All right. So let's start. Stage fright. First, stage fright. How do you overcome stage fright? Personally, I was a victim of stage fright. Like, I was a serious victim of stage fright. I can discuss with you, but if you keep me in front of crowd, I'm gone. Like, I'll just you if I'm holding mic, making the case worse now, I'm holding mic, you see my hand shaking like this, shaking like this. So I was a victim of stage fright, worse. So I can perfectly tell you how to overcome the stage fright because I was a victim of stage fright. Now, to overcome stage fright, this is what you do. Because now you are used to your slide. You know what to say already. Because I know some of you in your room now, you're doing maybe your topic is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. You say erythrocyte sedimentation rate is the rate at which you are just cramming, moving up and down. Yeah, it's good. It's actually a good one. But getting there tomorrow, with stage fright, you forget everything. With stage fright, you forget everything. So how do you overcome this stage fright? Number one, work on your mindset. That's one thing that helped me. Work on your mindset. Just note that everybody that will be sitting down there, they are somebody's father, they are somebody's mother. Look at them as your father or your mother. If you are talking to your mother or you're talking to your father, how will you say it? Will you be afraid? Will you be shaking? Don't look at them as superiors, as your superiors. Don't look at them as these are my lecturers, so can I defend? These are my lecturers, so can I? Don't look at them that way. If not, you feel inferior. You feel inferior. Get. So what you do is always have that mindset that these people have children. Look at them as your parents, and look at them as if you are talking to your parents. Do you get? That's one. Mindset. Work on your mindset. First, they will not bite you. They will not kill you. They will not do anything wrong to you. So why are you shivering? Why are you shivering? Why are you afraid? So work on your mindset. Another thing apart from mindset on how to overcome stage fright. I'm still on stage fright. Another thing you can use to overcome stage fright is close to the time you want to defend. Close to the time you want to defend, maybe 2 persons or 3 persons before you. Stop reading your slide. Stop revising your slide. Yeah. Revising your slide at that point will make you tense. Will make you tense. Stop revising your slide at that moment. You can even put your earpiece in your ears and listen to cool music. Forget about everything. Listen to cool music at that time if you can. Or just be discussing with someone. Just feel free, be discussing with someone. Because the more you think about the fact that you are coming next, the more tense you will become. Yeah. The more you think about the fact that you are the next person to defend, the more tense you'll become. So instead of that, what you do is maybe you listen to cool music at that point, or you uh, you discuss with someone quietly. Just be discussing, not about the defense or any discussion at all, so that you're easing yourself, like you're making you're calming your spirit. You get. How the defense is done is that all your classmates will be in the lab. We be in that place people are defending. Will be in that place people are defending. So they will not be outside. They will all be inside. So your classmates will be there listening to you teach. Your professors will be there listening to you teach. Your lecturers will be there listening to you teach. You get. So just know you are going to be talking to hundreds of persons as you are defending, not only your lecturers. Just know you are going to be talking to hundreds of persons. Yes. So how don't just feel relaxed. I've given you two methods of overcoming stage frights now. One, I say work on your mindset. Take them as your parents or your junior ones. Two, Don't read your slides close to the time you're presenting, like two persons before you or one person before you. Stop reading your slide. Just either listen to cool music or just talk to someone. Just be discussing with someone. The discussion shouldn't be about the slide. Use today to master your slide. Then tomorrow, when you once you've gotten there, just be listening to how people are presenting. Be gingering yourself. You get nothing is there. They know they bite. You get boldness is the most important thing. No, boldness is the most important thing you are going to there to do. If you are not bold, forget it. No matter how you know your topic, no matter how you feel, you say your topic. No matter how you feel, you explain, and you did not explain boldly. Forget it. Over 100, they can give you 50. That is, you've known your topic very well, but you not say it boldly. Because one thing they are testing is your boldness. You get? So that's another method of overcoming stage fright. Another method of overcoming stage fright is as close to your time when they want to call you, pinch yourself. This one is strange, Abi. Pinch yourself like this. This is what I mean. Don't do the one you shout and leave and disturb the lab. But close to the maybe one person before you. The person before you is about finishing. Pinch yourself very well. Like let you feel the pains a little. You feel the pains a little. Take in deep breath. Release. You take in, you release, and you pinch yourself. Why are you pinching yourself? Your brain now will be concentrating more on the pain and forget about the tension. You didn't know that one. Know that one today. Your brain will be concentrating more on the pain and you kind of forget about the tension you are already having. I'm not saying you should do the one that the thing will be paining even as you're defending. You didn't no, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. So that's how to those are simple steps of overcoming stage fright. Drink a lot of water too. Drink a lot of water. You can go there with bottled water. When it's about to get to your turn, you drink the water. You drink the water. Yeah, you drink the water. Yes, good. Victoria, that's good. Be practicing it from now. Good. All right, so that's that. So those are some of the ways of overcoming stage fright. When I say drink a lot of water, don't drink the one that you once they call you, you just urinate. Once they call you, just urinate on yourself. That's not what I mean. No. If you feel you be pressed, go and ease yourself before your turn. Because once you get there, you are not going out until you finish. So go and ease yourself before you get there. I remember one thing that happened to me one time like that in my jam. I submitted when I was not supposed to submit because I was pressed. So ease yourself before you go. I'm getting there. How to introduce yourself? I'm getting there. When I started this live stream, I said I have 3 things to talk about today. The stage fright, which I've talked about, and where I'm entering now, method of presentation. And in the method of presentation, I'll be talking about how you are to start, how you are to conclude, and how you are to respond to questions, because those are the key areas. Then the third thing I'll be talking about is dressing. Pardon. Because they drink a lot of water. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so the next thing I'll talk about now is method of presentation, which is basically the reason why I'm making this video. You know, I've heard some classes on this IT stuff. Do you know the reason why? It's not that I don't have things doing. I don't have other things doing. For those of you that know me very well, you know I'm a busy person. But I'm holding these classes because I know how important IT is. I know how making A in IT is so important. Now, method of presentation. They've called you. Listen to this one very well. They've called you. You might not necessarily go with anything because as they call you, your slide will already be displaying on the screen. Your slide will already be displaying on the screen. So as they call you, what will be displaying on your screen is just the first slide, that introductory page, that place where you wrote your name, your topic. You get that cover page or that introductory slide. That's the part that will be there. So as they call you, you don't just go there and stand. Once they call mark number 002, you just walk in. And as you walk in, how do you start? Do you just walk in and stand like this and wait for them? Wait for them for what? Your time is already going. You have barely 3 minutes to defend. Barely 3 minutes to defend. And they ask you a question in 2 minutes. That's total of 5 minutes. So you are defending in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 good minutes. You get? But 3 minutes is actually a long time. You get 3 minutes is enough for you to do all your defense. Now this is how you have to start. As that your cover page is there, is showing on the screen. First, greet them. They will check your manners. And once you enter there, they started grading you. That's one thing you should know. Once you enter there, they started grading you. For example, some persons are so mannerless that they will get there, and as they get there, excuse me, sorry. Okay. So as they get there, they are so mannerless that they will not greet. They will just go there and say, my name is Excellence Simplified. Today I'm defending on. No, you failed one step already. So as you get there, this is how to introduce yourself. First, this is how to start. Good day, professors and my lecturers and fellow colleagues. This thing I'm saying is not a preset format that this is what you must say. I'm just giving you something that is good to start with. Do you get? So you can start with something like, good day, my lecturers, professors, and my colleagues. My name is Excellence Simplified, and today I'll be giving my CWES presentation on, you put your topic. Okay, today, okay, let me use my topic as photosynthesis. I like photosynthesis a lot. Let me use my topic as photosynthesis. So anything I'll be saying, my topic is photosynthesis. And I did my IT in General Hospital. Okay, let me assume that I did my IT in General Hospital and my topic is photosynthesis. Good. So I'll get there and say, good day, lecturers, professors, and my colleagues. My name is Excellence Simplified, and today I'll be giving my CWES presentation on photosynthesis undertaken at General Hospital. That's a very good introduction. That's with boldness. You see, I'm saying it. I'm not just saying, good day, my lecturers and my fellow colleagues. You're not doing kingdom dance. You get? No. Or you not be, good day, my lecturers and my fellow colleagues. My name is, what are you doing, man? Be bold. Be bold. As I said, first impression matters a lot. First impression matters a lot. So as you get there, start with boldness. Start with boldness, because once you start with boldness, they'll say, for this person to start boldly like this person knows what he's doing. You get? So get there, speak out. If they struggle to hear you, especially for those of you that have slim voice, if they are struggling to hear you, you're already losing mark. You are already losing marks. That's why I said that this thing goes beyond knowing your topic. It goes far beyond knowing your topic. It goes far beyond knowing your topic. Speak out. So be bold. Be bold. So I've said how you have to introduce yourself now. So good day, my lecturers, professors, my colleagues. My name is Excellence Simplified, and I'll be giving my CWES presentation on photosynthesis undertaken at General Hospital. I know some of you can cram a lot. Tomorrow, don't go and say my name is Excellence Simplified. I beg you. I beg you. But that's how to start. Then after that, what next? You want to commence now. After you've introduced yourself that way, they will now put the next slide for you. The next slide. And the next slide will contain your outline of presentation. Now, for read out your outline of presentation, outline of presentation is like your table of contents. For the sake of time, you don't read, okay, in this course of this presentation, I'll be doing, for the sake of time, don't read out your outline of presentation. So after saying, good day, my lecturers, professors, and colleagues, my name is Excellence Simplified, and today I'll be giving my CWES presentation on the topic photosynthesis undertaken at General Hospital. These are my outlines of presentation. As your outline of presentation is showing on this slide there, just say, these are my outlines of presentation. If the person that is controlling the slide have not opened to that point, you said, after introducing yourself, you said, move to the next slide, please. Feel free to say that, move to the next slide, please. They'll move to the next slide and you just say, these are my outlines of presentation. You don't need to necessarily say I'll be doing introduction, I'll be doing, because of time. You have a whole lot of things to say in few minutes. Do you get? Are we following? If let me know if you are following in the comment section. If you are following, let me know. Just say I am following if you are following me. So I'll be sure I'm not speaking to myself. If you are following, say I am following. If you are following, say I am following. If you are not following, say I'm not following. If you are following, say I am following. If you are not following, say I'm not following. Good, 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 good. Okay, so thank you, 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 thank you. Seeing all of you. Good. Good, 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 good. I like the fact that you guys are active. I love active classes. I love active classes, and I like the fact you're active. All right. So after saying the introduction, these are my outline of presentation. What next? What next? That's the next thing now. Okay, now to use need to pinch yourself. And on you go on, no pinch yourself. Pinch yourself, you will cry there. All right. So after you've introduced yourself, you've said these are my outline of presentation. You can tell the person controlling the slide, move to the next slide, please, because you're not the one controlling the slide. Oh, good. For those persons in biochemistry, you are using Annex for defense. You are the first set using Annex for IT defense. Our set we use it for seminar defense, but IT defense, your set is the first set, and it's a very nice one because the beauty of your slide will come out on that big system, that big what do they call it? Television? No, is it television? That big stuff there, that big screen. Your slide will come out neatly, and when I noticed that they'll be using that, I was very, very happy. Like when I heard they will be using there. For this person that will be using Hawano, I was very, very happy because it's a good development. Your slide will show boldly, and you will be the one to be controlling your slide because it's touch screen. So you just be touching the screen, and you can move the slide whenever you want to move the slide. And it's a very good one. You get? It's a very good one. It's a very good one. For those person in other hall, they will be using projector. They will be projecting it, but in that hall, it's not projector. This one is a big screen like a television, but it's a very big wide screen. Touch screen, you'll be controlling the slide yourself. Oh my God, I enjoyed that. It's a very good one. So this is what you are to do, guys. Now, I've mentioned how you are to introduce yourself, and I believe everybody can introduce herself now. Good day, good day. Don't go there and say good day, ladies and gentlemen. Who are the ladies and the gentlemen there? Guys, what you're to say, your lecturers are there, your professors are there. You can go on and say, good day, my professors, lecturers, my colleagues. Don't go there and say, good day, my fellow lecturers. You no be lecturer yet. Now just defend, you they defend. Don't go there and say, good day, my fellow lecturers and my fellow professors. They'll first of all laugh as they are moving your mark. They'll just be laughing and be minusing your mark. Which day you become professor? You where they do IT defense. So you don't say good day, my fellow lecturers, my fellow professors. It's actually funny. It's funny. So you can say good day, my lecturers. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So good day, my lecturers. I can't keep my mind off this. It's too funny. It's too funny. Please don't go there and do that mistake. Don't go there and do that mistake on my fellow lecturers, please. Sorry, pardon me. I've been drinking a lot of water today. Yesterday I had live stream and I didn't drink water throughout. And at the end of the live stream, I was almost choking because that class was close to 2 hours. I was almost choking. So pardon me today. All right. So after introducing yourself, you've said, these are my outlines of presentation. The next thing you can, if you're the one controlling your slide, move the next slide to your introduction. The way you made your slide, I'm sure you made it in such a way that after your outline of presentation or table of contents, the next thing there should be your introduction, because you cannot do a presentation without introducing the topic you are defending. You can't just move straight to the topic. You must introduce the topic first. Do you understand that? This person is saying, why am I wearing tie? You don't know that. You don't know it's IT defense have started. IT defense have started. I'll now put on my suit after this stuff. All right, so don't go there and For those persons that talk fast, naturally you talk fast. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, you've crammed it and you want to just pour it out. You're just waiting for your turn. So as they'll call you, mat number 125. As you are entering, as you're walking down, good day, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Excellence. No, nah, no be so. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, you were told you'll be using the lab. Anywhere you use is perfect. If you are using the lab, they will project for you and somebody will be controlling. Anywhere you use is perfect. You get? So that's not a problem. So I've said how to start. Now, in your introduction, now some persons have been asking me, should we read from our slide or should we cram the slide? Don't cram. If you're cramming, good, no problem. But don't read from, you can read from your slide, but not throughout the presentation. Do you understand what I mean? You can read from your slide, but not throughout the presentation. Okay, take for example, I said my topic is photosynthesis, right? And what is written on my slide as introduction is photosynthesis. Introduction is always giving you what the topic is all about. So maybe my introduction, what is written on my slide, I can be reading from my slide. Photosynthesis is the process whereby green plants manufacture their food through the process of photosynthesis and sunlight. Through the process of what? In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Good. Now, in that, don't just make it's obvious that you are reading directly from your slide. You can read a line from your slide and look at them eyeball to eyeball, or look at them and say what you have to say. Don't just read everything from your slide. Like your eyes are on your slide throughout the presentation. No matter what is written on that slide, you failed. Are you following? Are you following? Don't just read everything from your slide, like from the starting of the presentation to the end. Your eyes are just fixed on the slide. As well, what then you don't know what you're defending, man. You don't know what you're defending, because if you know what you're defending, then you wouldn't be looking at your slide throughout the defense. And don't get me wrong, I didn't say you shouldn't look at your slide. You can look at your slides, but not every time your eyes fix on your slide. So you can read from your slide and you try to say what that is saying. So as my topic, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process whereby green plants manufacture their food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. I've read that from my slide. Good and fine. And now look at them. This is to say that in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, green plants trap sunlight and use the energy gotten from it to manufacture their food. That one is not written on my slide. Now that I'm saying something outside my slide, they will get to know that I actually know what I'm saying. Are you following? Because I'm not just saying straight up what is in my slide. I'm not saying straight up what is in my slide. You get? So I'll move on. Jennifer, say, are we going to use our phones? No, you don't need to use your phone. Your slide, you've already sent your slide to your course job, right? Your slide will be projected on the screen. Once it gets to your turn, your slide will be projected on the screen for you, so there's no need for your phone. But me, I will still advise that you go there, hold your phone in your hand if you can, because something happened in my set. My set was 20. I defended, I think 2022. I think 2022 or so. I defended 2022. Now, what we did there, one time there was technical issues and someone's slide could not come up. And then if you're not with your phone that contains the slide, you'll be stranded at that point. So maybe you can hold your phone in your hand. Don't use it. But if any technical issues, your slide, you already put your slide on your phone. So you can just hold it, and maybe if there is technical issue and your slide is not coming up, or your slide suddenly goes up, you don't wait for them. You continue to defend. Look at your phone and defend. Okay, so good. And your phone is allowed inside. Your phone is allowed inside. Yeah, it's allowed inside. No be exam, a presentation you dey present. All right, good. So after you've done the introduction, and your introduction should be catchy. Your introduction should be catchy. After doing your introduction, you can move on to the next slide and explain. Next slide and explain. Next slide and explain. But bear in mind, if they've given you the time, because before you start, they will give you this is so minutes. But for those of you in BCH, I heard you're defending in 3 minutes and questions in 2 minutes. So manage your time wisely. Manage your time wisely. Don't just spend all your time on introduction. Are we allowed to hold a piece of paper? You can hold a small piece of paper. Yes, you can hold it. You can hold it. You can hold it. But why holding a piece of paper when what you need is actually on your slide? What if you put that thing on the piece of paper? What if you put it in your head? Hmm? So it's not bad. It's not bad. But there are many things they are grading. Carrying a piece of paper, they might likely know that maybe you are not really grounded in this topic. So me, I will advise, don't go with a piece of paper. They will allow you. They will allow you, but I will advise that you don't go with a piece of paper. Get it in your head. Master your slide. Then get what you are to add. Practice your defense. Like today, what you should be doing is just practicing your defense. So sit somebody down and present to the person. Jennifer, leave me alone. So sit somebody down and present to the person. You get? I'm not drinking tea, Jennifer. It's water. It's water, pure water, like water. Sugar is not even inside. Okay, so that's that. So I've said something. How to start, how to go through your slide, make it. I'm still emphasizing on speaking boldly. Like be bold, be bold. Do you know that you can get there and you're not even sure of what you're saying, but the way you say it boldly, they'll be convinced. One thing you should notice that not all the lecturers there knows the topic you will be defending on. For the fact that they are professors does not mean they know everything. They are professors of their own field. You get? And so some of the topics you'll be defending, some of them know nothing about it because it's not their field. So don't feel you are the one teaching them, because most of them, they don't even know what you are defending. You get? So they will be checking how well you can present it. How well you can present it. You say I'm speaking boldly now because tomorrow I want you to go there and speak boldly. I want you to go there and speak boldly any day you are defending. You get? Because once you are bold, I don't know what can reduce your mark. Once you are bold, speak very boldly. Okay, so how to respond to question? That's the next thing. I'll make it very short. I'll make this live stream short so that you can go and prepare yourself. How to respond to questions. How to respond to questions. Let me say this so that tomorrow you don't get there, or any day you're defending, you don't get there and be shocked. So they don't get there and be shocked. Some of you, after your introduction, they might not allow you to say any other thing again. Questions can come right from your introduction, and you will not have time to do any other thing again. Do you get? Questions might come right from the starting of your presentation. Let's take, for example, my own defense. My IT defense, I defended on fingerprint. That was my topic, fingerprinting as a topic. And I started with my introduction. The introduction I gave was, do you know that no two persons, not even identical twins, have the same fingerprint? That was my introduction. So, do you know that no two persons, not even identical twins, have the same fingerprint? And that was how my defense ended. I just introduced myself and I said that. And me that I've prepared for my defense, I was memorizing and all the stuff. I did not go through my slide. Me, as I just said that, one professor asked me, do you mean no two persons have the same fingerprint? Sincerely, he didn't know. Remember what I said. For the fact that he's a professor does not mean he knows everything. It's not his field. He's a professor of another field. So he said, do you mean no two persons have the same fingerprints? I said, yes, sir. And I said, be bold, because that's how you say it now, then they will convince you. And they are wrong. I said, yes, sir. No two persons have the same fingerprints. He said, explain how. So as I explaining what happens, normally identical twins are supposed to have the same fingerprints because the fingerprint is controlled by the genes. And identical twins, they have the same set of genes. But due to them growing in different parts, microenvironments of the mother's womb, of the uterus, and the flow of amniotic fluid will shaping the finer details of the fingerprints, giving them different print patterns. So at that point, I explained to him, and he was like, seriously? Another lecturer that was sitting down there, which is his own area, you people will learn it in final year now. You people will learn fingerprint as a topic in forensic biochemistry for those persons in biochemistry. The lecturer that was sitting down there, that is his field, he started explaining. Yes, not two persons have. The lecturer now started defending for me, started explaining. Two of them were now discussing the topic. Me, I was just nodding myself. They would say when I was saying yes, 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 that's it. They were just discussing until they finished discussing. I said I wanted to continue. I said no, 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 don't worry, you can go. Now, so my defense end. After my defense, the professor that asked that question first saw me outside and they said, "Do you mean no two persons have the same fingerprint?" He asked again. He took me to his office and he said I should explain more. I was explaining. He said I should go and do more research and come. He just wanted to know. Because I started boldly, they were able to believe what I was saying. So start boldly. And how do you respond to questions? Before I tell you how to respond to questions, let me answer some questions here before they move up. Do we also have to explain the procedures of the experiment? It depends on your topic, Janet. It depends on your topic. So there are some topics that need you to explain the procedures of your experiment. You get? But anything you're doing related to your course of study, how it relates to your course of study. There are some topics, like let's say your topic is determination of ash content. You should be able to tell them the processes involved in the determination of ash content, even if it is not in your on your slide. You should be able to tell them, okay, to determine ash content in this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what, that one. You don't necessarily need to read it on your slide because that is what they will use to know if you know it or not. So that one you can easily explain from your head. Oh, this is it, this is it, this is that. Do you get that? So that's how it is. Okay, next question. Question from where again? I never. Don't worry, you'll see it now. Okay, Dominic, please, if we are to explain the procedure for our topic, can we explain as if we did it practically? That's the best way, get? That's the best way. You don't even need, at that point, even if it's on your slide, you don't even, at that point, you don't even need to write anything. You don't even need to say anything from your slide at that point. If it is the procedure, even if it's on your slide, at that point, look at them eyeball to eyeball. To carry out this test, brothers and sisters, sorry for that. To carry out this test, this is what you do. This is what you do. This you say it boldly so that at that point, remember, this defense is like a market. You are trying to convince them. You are the one selling, and you are convincing them to buy. Sorry, you are the one buying, and you are convincing them to sell. How? You are the one. Now, what you want to get is mark, and you are convincing them to give you that mark. So the more you can convince them, the more mark they will give you. So just know, you are not there for show off. You are there to get mark. That's it. That's one thing you should bear in mind. You are there to get your mark. So present boldly so they can give you more mark. You get? Okay, so that's that. So explain practically. So, sir, like urine microscopy, can I have to explain the procedures? Yes, you can explain the procedure. Like in urine microscopy, you put the urine on the slide, on the, how do you call them? The microscope slide. Is it how they call it? Then if you request staining, you know your procedure better. If you request staining, you stain, and then you view under microscope. Why are you doing? You can say the procedures without even looking at your slide. Because if you actually did it in your IT, you shouldn't be looking at your slide to say that. So most times you just be referencing your slide to know the next thing to say. Reference your slide to know the next thing to say. Just be looking at your slide once in a while to know the next thing to say. You don't necessarily need to read from your slide. Do you get? So that's that. The next one, I'll give time for question. Or this one that people are balking with question already. I will not finish my presentation. No. You don't know me, I'm doing my presentation now. Okay, please, I will respond to these ones that you've dropped already. Then I'll give time for questions. So just hold your question so I can finish up. Possible questions on fasting blood sugar. Please remind me after this presentation. Like on this, still in this presentation, I'll give time. There's a section for possible questions. I'll do that. Arrange what questions would be. Okay, anything possible questions, please. After, I'll give time for that in this section. So I will respond to that. Can we drop our topics now? No. Just hold on. You drop your topics after now. Please can also say here is a table of content for my presentation. Yes, you can say that. Ologe, you can say that. Possible questions. Please, possible questions. I'll give possible questions. Just hold on. I'm almost done with the stuff. So when I'm done, you drop your possible questions. All right. So how do you respond to questions? Now, to respond to questions, if you are asked a question and sincerely you don't know the answer, the one you know the answer to, respond as direct as possible. Don't beat around the bush. They are asking you what is photosynthesis, and you say photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, they don't know. Don't assume they know anything. Don't assume they know anything. If you don't know the answer, honestly, you don't know the answer to the question they are asking you. The worst thing you will do to yourself is, as they ask you the question, you just look at them like this. You look at them, you look at them, man. That's the worst thing you do to yourself. Or the worst thing also, the next worst thing you do to yourself is, if they ask you a question and sincerely you don't know, you now say, I don't know, sir. I don't know, man. And you're happy. No. So when they ask you questions you don't know, how do you navigate that? How do you go about that? Questions you honestly don't know answers to. How do you do that? Please, all of you dropping topics, just hold on. I will ask you to drop the topic, because now they are going up and I won't know who have dropped and who have not dropped. Just hold on. You will drop the topics. I will answer I'll give possible questions on all the topics you drop. I'm here for you. I'm here for you today. So just hold on. You drop your topics. So if you are asked questions you don't know, there are ways to go about that. Just like I said, if you are asked questions you know, give them the direct answer. If you are asked questions you don't know, don't, instead of saying I don't know, beat around the bush. I say what? Beat around the bush. At that point that you are giving, that you are asked questions you don't know, beat around the bush at that point. It is better than saying I don't know. It is better than keeping quiet. So you can beat around the bush, because the questions you'll be asked is still questions on your topic, questions relating to the topic you are defending. But if there is no way you can beat around the bush as regards the question you are being asked, I'm not saying you should say rubbish. The rubbisher you say, the more they are reducing your mark. Okay, so if there's no way you can navigate through, if there's no way you can beat around the bush in the topic you are asked that you don't sincerely know the answer, what you have to do is, you can say this: sir or ma, the scope of my research, or the question was beyond the scope of my research during my COS training, but I hope to do more research into that. Clean. Tell them that the question is beyond the scope of your research, the research you did, but you anticipate to do more research as time goes on. Fine, it's clean than keeping quiet. So if you're asked what is photosynthesis and honestly you don't know, you can either, if there's any way you can say things around your topic, beat around the bush, even if you are not answering straight, you do. But if there's no way, you can say, sir or ma, the question is beyond the scope of my training, but I hope to do more research into that. Thank you. Clean. And if they ask you one question 2 times, they are looking for something. So answer, even if they ask you the same question 3 times, answer them. Because there was one person in my set that was defending, and he said something when he was defending, and they now asked him the same thing as a question. He told them, sir, I've said that already. Everywhere started posting. Everybody started laughing. He told them, sir, I've said that already. Can you imagine? Like, they're asking you a question and you're telling them, sir, I've said that already. No, if they ask you 100 times, answer 100 times. Do you get? So that's how to navigate your questions. So far, I've talked about stage fright. I've also talked about method of presentation. And I have a method of presentation. I've talked about how you have to start. I've talked about how to have I talked about how to conclude? No. How to respond to questions. Then now, how to conclude. Before I briefly talk about dressing and I take your topics. Now, how to conclude. Let's assume you finished defending and they've not stopped you. Like, you are done with your defending and they didn't stop you halfway. because most times they will always stop you if you've exceeded the time. And it will be better if they don't stop you. It will be better you finish your defense within the time, because they also mark time management. So some of the things they are marking: boldness is there, time management, your method of your way of presentation. There are some of the things that they will be grading. Okay, so how do you conclude? If you are done, remember I made a video and I've been posting also that you should add references to your slide at the end of your slide, before that thank you slide. Thank you is not too important. Even if you don't put it, there's no problem, but it's good. Now, references should be there in APA format. How do you do your reference? As you're concluding, there's always a conclusion in the slide. Your slide should always have, just like you had introduction, your slide will always have conclusion. So in the conclusion, you are free to read out your conclusion from your slide. You are very free. So you can read out the conclusions from your slide. So you can read that for them, the conclusion. Then after conclusion, the next thing is your references. You don't have to say, my reference is number one. You start reading this person. You don't have to read out what you wrote as a reference. After reading the conclusion, next slide, please. The reference slide. When the reference comes up, you just say, these are my references from where my work, my research was gotten from. These are my references. Especially if references on your slide, emphasize on it. These are my references, because references have their own mark. That's why I've been shouting. Add reference to your slide. Add reference to your slide. If reference is not in your own slide, don't worry. Don't bother yourself. Don't worry. But if it's there, it's an added advantage for you. So everybody at this slide 4, I added references. And your references must be in APA format. APA format. I know they've not taught people APA format of referencing, but people learn it in final year. Now, add your references. Tell them, these are my references from which my research was gotten from. Thank you. As they put that thank you slide, you say, thank you for listening. You wait for their question. Neat. So if I'm to do my own presentation now, I'll just get there and say, good day, lecturers, my professors, and my colleagues. My name is Excellence Simplified, and today I'll be giving my CWES presentation on the topic photosynthesis undertaken at General Hospital. These are my outlines of presentation. The next slide, please. Go to introduction. You introduce your topic boldly. Like you be defending. The lecturers will be clapping for you. They will be clapping for you. The 2 defenses we've had, because as you go on, you'll be doing different defense. After your IT defense, you'll be doing seminar defense. And you'll be doing about 3 project defense. In your project, you'll be doing internal defense with your supervisor, and external defense. So about 3 project defense we're doing. So apart from this IT defense, we'll be doing seminar defense and your project defenses. I call it defenses. Out of those, all the defenses we've done, I've only presented once completely. That was only seminar defense. They allow me to present. The rest, I did not. Once I do my introduction, that's all. In fact, my project defense, I did not even defend my project. Like, they didn't even ask me my topic. It was just the boldness and the way I come out. Be bold, be bold. Do you get that? All right, so that's that. So that's how to conclude. Dressing. I've been, throughout the week, I've been receiving questions on dressing. Please don't kill yourself with suit. Are you hearing me? Some persons you now want to steal, or you want to do something to get suit. Suit is not compulsory, man. Suit is not compulsory. You can wear suit. Good and fine. I wore suit in my own time. But it's not the suit that is giving you the mark. You now wear suit and you now go there and you just stay like this. You don't know what to say. How? So it's not about the suit. It's about what you're saying. But if you have suit, wear. If you don't have suit, dress corporate. Wear tie. See the tie I'm wearing, but it should be bigger than this one. This one is not covering you. Okay. So wear tie. Good. No, this one is not straight. Wear tie, iron your shirt, wear. This one is not wear iron too. Iron it wear, like the line should be showing. Iron it wear. You mustn't wear suit, but dress neatly. If you are a guy, wear tie. I'm emphasizing on it. If you're, in fact, that's why I'm wearing tie for this presentation. If you are a guy, wear tie. Wear tie, except you are wearing something that you need to wear, maybe round neck, turtleneck, or those stuffs. Then for the ladies, you can wear gown, and the gown is not the tight gown that you be exposing yourself. You get? There was one person in my one of my defense, they didn't allow. First, in my IT defense, there was one person they did not allow to defend. In my project defense, there was one person they didn't allow to defend too. She have to go and borrow somebody's clothes at that defense place to wear so that she'll be able to defend. You see how embarrassing it is. The other one, in my IT defense, the other one wear leggings. How do people call it? Are tight for defense. How? As a lady, you can wear gown. You can wear gown, but the gown shouldn't be exposing. Shouldn't be tight, or you know what I'm saying. Should be corporate gown. Don't wear native, guys or girls or guys, any of you. Don't go and wear senator for defense. Senator is not corporate dress. Don't go and wear senator there. They will allow you to defend, quite all right. They will allow you to defend, but your mark is going. When I say corporate, talking, wear tie for the guys. For the ladies, you can wear gown, or you wear skirt, and maybe you're talking. I don't know much about female wears. My wife is not around, even though she should have come and tell you that one. She's not here. Okay, so they've been asking also, can you, why are you looking at me like, am I not married? So some persons have been asking, can I wear trouser as a lady to defend? I know some of you have been asking that question. So can you wear trousers as a lady to defend? With all sincerity, yes, you can wear trousers as a lady to defend. But the trouser you're wearing shouldn't be tight. But me, I will advise you. Victoria, don't tempt me. I'm a family man now. Yes. You are not aware. Don't worry, people will know her very soon. All right. So that's story for another day. So, but we don't wear ring. Actually, I don't wear ring. Now, if you're wearing, my sincere response for those persons, ladies, if you want to wear trousers to defend, there's no restriction. There is no restriction at all. There's no restriction. But to be neutral, me, I will suggest maybe you wear gown to be neutral, so that maybe religious people will not mark you down. Though people wear trousers and they still get their A. My seatmate in class, she wore trouser, suit and trouser. A lady, all those ladies suits with trousers, she still got her A. You get? So basically, just dress corporately. Just dress corporate. That's that. Okay. So any question? First of all, as regards defense, before I will talk about your questions, before I talk about possible questions, any questions as regards defense generally, before I give possible questions on your topic. Yes, corporate trouser is okay, Victoria. It's okay. Please, can we repeat what we said in the beginning? Please, excellent. Can we repeat what you said? Can I repeat what I said in the beginning? Stephanie, what I said in the video is actually recorded. Do you get? So after now, you can still go back to it because the video is recorded. Do you get? So after now, you can always scroll back and forth. The video will be there for you. You get that? Okay, next person. I hope they will not reduce my mark because of stammering. Okay, Favor, if you are a stammerer, they will obviously know that you are a stammerer, but try to control it if you can, because tension can make you stammer more. You get? Tension can make you stammer more. So try to be at ease as possible, so to reduce that. If you know you're a stammerer, don't try to talk too fast, because if you talk too fast, the stammering will be too fast. We come in more often too. So to So just be at ease as much as possible. But if you're a natural stammerer, they should understand that. But try to control it as much as possible. Okay, any other question? Should I use you add this or I add this when explaining my procedure? Okay, good. Thank you for that. I wanted to say that, but it skipped my mind. If you are explaining your procedures, if you are explaining your procedure, one thing you do is don't use maybe blood is you collect blood from the patient, and after you collect blood from the patient, you add it to, you can use how do they call it now, what part of what tense should I say now, you can, it's best to say that to carry out this test, blood is collected from a patient using maybe venipuncture, and 2 drops of sodium hydroxide is added. Do you get? It is better that way than to say I collected blood from a patient and I added 2 drop of sodium hydroxide. So you can use the I don't know what part of what tense is that. I don't know. Okay, so you can say something like blood is collected from. So you report in the past tense. Blood is collected from the patient and 2 drops of is added in. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Augusta, what happened to the conclusion? I said the conclusion, you can read the conclusion on your slide, because ideally conclusion should be on your slide. So you can feel free to read it for them. How can you move to the next agenda after introduction? Okay, after introduction, to move to the next thing, tell the person controlling the slide, feel free. Next slide, please. Feel free to say it out. Nope, that is not an issue. Tell them next slide, please. They will now move they will now go to the next slide. And you now, after the introduction, the next heading, you say the heading and you start to talk about what is written there. So you can always tell them next slide, please. Then you read the heading of the next slide. Then you tell them what you have to say in that place. Hope I answered your question. I mean, how do you overcome stage fright? I mean, it means you didn't join from the starting. I talked about stage fright. I talked about several things to use and overcome stage fright. You can always go back to the beginning of the video, but let me just talk about it a little. To overcome stage fright, I gave 3 things you can use to overcome stage fright. The first thing you can use to overcome stage fright is mindset. I said you should look at the people you are defending to, look at them as if they are your junior or they are your parents. They know they bite. It's your mindset. That fear that, hey, now my lecturer, so it's my lecturer I'm going to be talking to. That man is a professor. That man used to be harsh. It's all this mindset that will make you to, me, I was a big stage frighter. Like stage fright. Hold mic like this, my hand will shake as if it wants to fall. But now I sat down and I was like, I'll be doing defense. Defenses will be coming up. Is it there? I will go there and sit down and stand there and disgrace myself. Because with stage fright, you will forget everything you have to say. With stage fright, you get to forget everything you have to say. You won't be able to say it well because of stage fright. So it was a big problem for me. Work on your mindset. Drink a lot of water. Avoid reading your slide at close to when you are defending. Forget about your slide. Discuss with somebody. The discussion shouldn't be slide related. It should not relate to your slide. And I said also you should pinch yourself when it's time for you to defend. When they're about to call you, pinch yourself. Make it a little painful. With that, your brain will be concentrating on the pain, and you, in a way, your brain will, in a way, forget about the tension you are having. That will help a little. Okay, so that will help a little. So stage fright is just, I know it affects many persons. I can say that because this thing was tiring. So if I have something to say somewhere, I'll not be like, now so I go there, go shake. It was tiring. Like I have to work on it. I have to just, my secondary school teacher told me something about stage fright. He said if you are to present, walk through the stage, that place are presenting, walk through that place. But now don't do it because this is a formal presentation. But try to look at the lecturers, look at their eyes. Don't look up. Some persons, they will just be like, from the beginning of the presentation, good day, my lecturers, good day, my professors, My name is Excellent Simplified, and they'll be looking up from the beginning of the presentation to the end. Why? Look at their eyes, like eyeball to eyeball. Now dem go even shame bring eye down. Me, I do that a lot too. Like if I'm saying one thing, I'll look at one of their eyes very well. I'll just look at them. I'll look at another person boldly, boldly. If you start boldly, see why I said introduction is very good, is very important. If you start boldly, before you know, the way you will be saying it. I finished one of my presentation and they were like, excellent. The way you are talking with boldness is as if you I said that's it. You talk with boldness. If you start boldly, as you are going on, you'll be like, now me do this thing. Have somebody record you when you are presenting. Then look at yourself after presenting. You'll be like, now me they talk like this. Start boldly. All right. So, okay. So please recap on the reference part. So the reference part, I said your reference is already on your slide. So after your conclusion, you just tell them, these are my references from where I got my research from. From where I got my research. These are my references. You get? Don't have to read your references one after the other. I say this number one, number two. No, just say these are my references from where my research was done. Okay, good. Okay, possible. I'm coming for possible questions. Can ladies wear fitted corporate gown? Grace, it depends on how fitted it is. It should not be like tight. It should not be body hug. You get? It shouldn't be body hug. But I'm not saying you should wear the one that you'll be moving and the gown is 2 times your size. No, the fitted gown shouldn't be too tight on you, exposing your part or just pressing. No, it shouldn't be that way. It can be fitted but not body hug. Do you get that? Yes. What are the kind of words to use when moving to the next thing on your outline? The next thing, after saying next slide, please. The next thing you have to say as you move on is just read the the heading of your slide. Okay, let me see. My topic today is photosynthesis actually. So I've said introduction. I've done my introduction and I want to move on to the next slide. I said next slide, please. Then maybe that my next slide is types of photosynthesis. After I've done the introduction, I say next slide, please. Then the types of photosynthesis. Okay. I say okay. So I'll be talking about the types of photosynthesis. So you don't just say maybe types of photosynthesis. You can say I'll be talking about the types of photosynthesis, and the types of photosynthesis are number one. Do you get? So that's it. If you have other questions, go on. Victoria, you can use healthcare professional. I don't really get your question, so Victoria, you can rephrase that. Eddie, you're welcome. Stephanie, is it a must to explain what's on the slide? I don't really get. Can you rephrase that question, Stephanie? Like to explain what's on the slide, how? Please rephrase that question. Ologge, you're welcome. Please, for the defense process, when you start, is it necessary to talk about everything in the details or just run through the subheading and leave full explanation to question and answer? No, you don't leave full explanation to question and answer. Already, time yourself when presenting. Know you are presenting in 3 minutes. So time yourself. Photosynthesis is a process whereby green plants manufacture their food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Next slide, please. Types of photosynthesis. The types of photosynthesis are number one. Do you get? You don't explain too much details also, and you spend all the time explaining one thing. You manage your time wisely, and you don't just leave everything to, if you know they will ask you a question on something, say it in your defense. Don't wait for them to ask you that thing. Do you get? If you have any other question, you can ask. So now I'll be taking your question. Ask anything you need to know about IT defense now, because this is my last video as regards IT. This is my last video. I'm not doing any other video on IT again. So now I'll be taking any of your questions, then your possible questions. Please, if you drop your topic before for him to give you possible questions, please drop it again because it have moved up. So drop your possible questions, your topic now, so I can give you possible questions. Please help me with this. I'll be waiting. Drop your questions so I can, your topic, so I can drop possible questions. All right, so the next one, okay. So serum bicarbonate analysis from Daniel. Okay, I'll respond to that. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Is it more than 1 minute? No, it's not more than 1 minute. Take. Okay, so you didn't put reference in your slide. It's not much of a problem, but you should have. But if you didn't put it, nothing to worry about. Nothing don't spoil. Nothing spoil. So possible, Daniel, by serum bicarbonate analysis. Okay, I'll give you that. Serum bicarbonate analysis. Sorry. So first question they can ask you from here is, what's the difference between serum and plasma? What's the difference between serum and plasma? That is one question they can ask you there. The difference between serum and plasma. Please let me hold my power bank and my cord. My battery is getting low. What's the difference between serum and plasma? So you know the difference between serum and plasma. Serum. All of you that have anything to do with a topic to do with blood, please note the difference between serum and plasma. Serum and plasma, they are all liquid components of blood. But what's the major difference? The difference here is that if you allow blood to stand, if you put blood in a test tube and you allow the blood to stand, like you allow the test tube to stand like this, you notice that the blood, the components of the blood will separate, right? The red layer, that is the red blood cells, we sediment, will go down. Erythrocyte sedimentation. The red blood cells will sediment, will go down, and liquid part, a clear yellowish, a little yellowish liquid part will be up. That liquid part of the blood is the plasma. When the blood have not clotted, it still contains clotting factor like fibrin. Now, if you allow the blood to clot, that is, the clotting factors are now out of it, then that is serum. So serum is plasma without clotting factor. The liquid part of blood without clotting factor is serum. That plasma is the liquid part of blood with clotting factor. So Daniel, that's one possible question you can be asked. The difference between serum and plasma. Then serum bicarbonate analysis. What is the implication of bicarbonate level in the serum? What that means is, what amount of or what information do you get from analyzing bicarbonate in the serum? So as you analyze bicarbonate in the serum, what can you use that to infer? Do you understand? Like if I say, okay, the bicarbonate level in my blood now is 10 millimoles per anything, any unit you use in measuring it. What does it mean? Am I okay? Am I not okay? What is wrong with me? Do you get what is the clinical implication of the bicarbonate in your serum? Do you understand that? So those are some of the possible questions. Then the procedures, know your procedures at your fingertips, the procedures. So those are possible questions you can get from there. Next one, Stephanie, possible questions on fasting blood glucose test. Good. Fasting blood glucose test. What's the difference between, the first question you can be asked, what's the difference between fasting blood glucose and random blood glucose? Are you noting that? What's the difference between fasting blood glucose and random blood glucose? Please, 1 minute, please. Emmanuel, drag this in, bring that in close, and bring another cord. Yes, put it here. Still bring it close. Bring another cord. Another cord for this stuff here. Okay, so that's it. Then plug the cord here. So okay, so one difference between I've said one now. Difference between fasting blood glucose and random blood glucose. Fasting blood glucose, the person must have not eaten anything for like 8 hours. Then random blood glucose, you are taking it at intervals, whether the person is fasting or not. You get. All right, so now what is the implication of the fasting blood glucose? Looking at, and what is the normal range? What is the normal range? What's the abnormal range? What can affect fasting blood glucose level? What can make it high? And please, Stephanie, also note, even if it's not on your slide, also note about diabetes, insulin level and diabetes. Also note that about insulin level and diabetes. Note that, because If insulin is what is supposed to transport the glucose to the liver to be stored as glycogen, but if insulin is deficient or insensitive, the glucose will remain in your bloodstream. So even if you're fasting, the glucose level in the blood will be high, indicating possible cases of diabetes, hyperglycemia. Do you get? So that's basically that. And note your procedures and the principle of the test. Eddie, how to conclude? I said to conclude, your slide should already have a slide, specific slide, the right conclusion. In your slide, you're supposed to put conclusion. Feel free to read your conclusion. But in a case where you did not put conclusion in your slide, then just give a brief summary of everything you've said. Just give a brief summary of everything you've said. Take, for example, on photosynthesis. So you can just say, in conclusion, photosynthesis is a very important part of plant metabolism. Just something like that, something brief. Okay, Anita, liver function test, protein determination. So liver function test, possible questions you can get from liver function test. All of you doing liver function test, please, you have to prepare very well, because I know as you say liver function test, you now limit it to protein determination, right? Good. Protein determination, liver function test, protein determination. You are just looking at just one aspect of liver function test, but they can ask you other questions concerning liver function test generally. So get to prepare on that. So liver function test, what generally is liver function test? You got to know that. Have to know that. General liver function test. They can ask you, okay, apart from protein determination, what other liver function tests do you know? Do you get now? Then protein determination. How can you use the amount of protein to determine how the liver functions? You know, protein, first of all, protein, the end product of protein metabolism is what? Sorry, the end product of protein digestion is what? Amino acid, right? I know digestion ends in the small intestine. The amino acid now will move from your small intestine into the bloodstream. And in the bloodstream, it will be transported to the liver. The amino acid in your liver now will be broken down. In the liver, will be broken down to, and if it is broken down, you know, amino acid have the amino part and the carboxylic acid part. If it is broken down, that amino part will turn to ammonia or ammonium ion, which is very, very toxic. It's dangerous. So immediately, it's through the urea cycle, it will be transporting in your liver, have something to tell about your liver health. How well is the liver breaking down this? So be able to know the normal range. If it is high, what can it possibly tell? What's the clinical implication? Do you get that? And know the procedures in your fingertips and the principle of the test. Chisholm, urinalysis, protein determination. So I've said something about protein determination just now, but urinalysis, you know, you're using the urine now to analyze. Is protein supposed to be in the urine? That's one question they can ask you. Is protein supposed to be in the urine? If yes, what amount? So what can influence the amount of protein in your urine? What are the factors affecting protein in the urine? These are possible questions you can be asked. These are possible questions you can be asked. So what's if protein is supposed to be in the urine? What's the normal range? What is the abnormal range? If it is abnormal, what might possibly be the cause? What's the clinical implication? How can we solve that? Then know the processes, the procedures, and the principle of the method you are using is very important. Eminike favor. Possible question on biochemical evaluation of antibiotics. Talking is not easy. Yesterday I talked for over 1 hour 30 minutes. I did not drink water once and I was choking. Today I determined not to try that again. I have to drink a lot of water. Okay, so biochemical evaluation of antibiotics. You know, you have to prepare very well, because the truth is that most lecturers there are medical biochemists and pharmacological biochemists. So they will possibly have a lot of questions for you. Now, biochemical evaluation of antibiotics. Generally, you have to note what antibiotics are. And you know, antibiotics, anti, against, bio living, so against living things. So antibiotics generally any substance, whether natural or chemically synthesized, that can kill or inhibit the growth of other living things. Any substance, whether naturally occurring or synthetic, that can kill one or inhibit the growth of other living things, that's an antibiotic. So if I can kill or inhibit the growth of other living things, then I am an antibiotic. Do you understand that? Good. So now the antibiotics are of two kinds: those that can kill and those that can inhibit the growth. Those that can kill bacteria, those antibiotics that can kill bacteria are called bactericidal antibiotics. Cider means killing, like suicide, side. Pesticide, kill pest. So bactericide, kill bacteria. So antibiotics that can kill bacteria are called bactericidal antibiotics. Why those that can inhibit their growth, can just stop their growth, is not possibly killing them, or can inhibit their growth, are called bacteriostatic. So note all these things. These are possible questions you can be asked. What's the mechanism of action? How does antibiotic work? How does antibiotic work? So generally, biochemical evaluation of antibiotics. Just note things about antibiotics. You get, master your slide very well. Favor, you have a good slide. So master what is in your slide. Now, delight. Possible questions on iodine value determination in fat and oil. Okay, delight. Iodine value determination in fats and oils. So possible questions you can get from here. What's the implication of iodine value? Iodine value can be used to test the purity of fat and oil. So what value is the normal value? Note the different fats, different oil have different iodine value. So note some iodine values for some fat, some oil. So for cheese, what's the iodine value? For groundnut oil, what's the iodine value? And what if it is above with this value? What is it saying? Is the oil still good? Is the oil rancid? Do you get? So even if it's not on your slide, you should note for maybe two iodine value of maybe two types of oil. So as you're defending and you check that in, okay, iodine value, take for example the iodine value of so thing is 0. This, and this means any value higher than this is, they will know you know what you're saying. You get? Because all you want to do is to convince them that you know what you're saying. You don't just go there and say, sir, I did this IT. I swear to God, I did this IT. No, you are not telling them you did the IT. It's what you're saying that will convince them you really did the IT. You get? So they can also ask you the difference between fat and oil. And the major difference between fat and oil: fat is solid oil, while oil is liquid fat. So fat is solid, oil is liquid. Fat is majorly of animal origin, while oil is majorly of plant origin. Victoria, what is the principle of urinalysis in protein determination? Okay, the principle of protein determination in urinalysis, it depends on the method you are using. But if it is the test strip method, the test strip is built in such a way that it contains chemicals that will react with protein in the urine. So if the chemical that is already inbuilt in the strip reacts with the protein in the urine, if there's protein in the urine, there will be a color change. And the rate of color change is equivalent to the amount of protein that is there. So you compare it with standard, and so you know the amount of protein. That's the principle. Principle means how does it work? On what basis is it working? If you are using the spectrophotometric method, you can tell them about color change, the Lambert's law. But I guess basically what they use most often is the test strip method. So that's that. Ijoma. Possible questions for syphilis test. Okay, syphilis test. This should be microbiology, right? Now, syphilis test. In syphilis test, you should be able to tell them the symptoms of syphilis infection. So if somebody is if somebody is infected What are the possible symptoms the person can see? You should note the test procedures, how you are to carry out this test. You should note that. Note the test procedures at your fingertips. Note it. Do you get that? Note the principle of the test you are using, the principle of the test. Do you get that? Note the principle of the test. So basically, that's that. Basically, possible question on lipid extraction and refining. Lipid extraction and refining. Okay, basically, it's a straightforward topic. If okay, it's a straightforward topic. Lipid extraction. So basically, know your procedures. Note your procedures very well, and the principle of the procedure, the principle of your method, of the method you are using. Note the principle. Then know about lipids too. They can ask you about lipids. They can ask you generally about lipids. So note lipids too. Lipids are made up of what and what? Lipids are made up of what and what? Lipids are made up of fatty acids and alcohol. So we have generally, we can, depending on the classification, we can have simple lipids, compound lipids, and complex lipid. We have derived lipids also. So simple lipids are just made up of fatty acid and alcohol, like fatty acid and glycerol. We have different types of classification of lipids, which you are going to do it in your final year in this H4 too, I guess. Alright, so that's that. Possible questions on retroviral tests. Okay, retroviral tests or retroviral screening. First of all, you should know what retroviruses are. Retroviruses are RNA viruses. You know, viruses, they cannot have both RNA and DNA. They'll either have only RNA or DNA. Now, retroviruses are RNA viruses, meaning they have RNA as their genetic material. So, example is your HIV virus. So you note the principle of the test. Note like 3 examples of retroviruses. So when you are defending, you can chip that in. Know the procedures of carrying out the test and the principle. Basically, that's that. Possible questions on chloride determination using ISE. So all of you using ISE machine, whether it is chloride determination, sodium determination, potassium determination, please listen to this very well now, because I'll be talking about all of them at once. So I'm sorry for that. Okay, so retroviruses. Where am I? ISE. ISE is ion selective electrode. And is used to determine, is a selective electrode used to determine the concentration of a particular ion. So for chloride ion, know the principle of ISE, even if it's not on your slide. Know the principle of ISE machine. How does it work? ISE machine works on the principle of the NERD equation. NERD, I think NERD. I think NERD. I think. So check the NERD principle of ISE machine. But it's actually a selective machine. So note the principle and the procedure of the test. It's a very interesting topic. So basically, that's that. Chisom, I think I've answered this now. Urinalysis is protein determination. Let me know if you were not there when I explained it, but I just answered a few minutes ago. So if you're not there, let me know. Serum cholesterol determination. In serum cholesterol determination, know about cholesterol. Know about good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein. Know about them. They can ask you questions on that. Know the difference between serum and plasma. Know among low density lipoprotein and high density lipoprotein, which one is good cholesterol, which one is bad cholesterol. I think low density lipoprotein is a good cholesterol. Why is it called good cholesterol? Why is the other one called bad cholesterol? What is the right amount of cholesterol that should be in the serum? Do you get all those questions? Note your principles and your method. Do you get that? What's David Precious, Amma, my neighbor? Determination of dissolved CO2 in water. I also think water, CO2 is not in water. Possible question. Why are you determining CO2 in water? What's the implication? Why are you determining CO2 in water? So you should be able to know that. You should be able to know the reason the aim of your test. You're not just determining CO2 just to know that, okay, CO2 is in this water. If CO2 is found in water, is it good? Is it bad? At what concentration can you consider it safe? What detrimental effect does it have on aquatic life if it is high? Do you get that? These are some of the questions you should expect. Note your procedures in your fingertips. Note your procedures very, very well. And the principle of your procedure, note it very well. Those are some of the possible questions you can ask. Possible questions on soap production, Jenny. So the possible question you can get in soap production is the principle. The principle of soap production is simple: saponification. So know about saponification, that when base like sodium hydroxide, which is mostly used, you can use any other base. Sodium hydroxide reacts with a fatty acid through esterification reaction, it forms soap and water, right? So it forms in a process, that process is called saponification. So it's actually an esterification reaction because ester bonds will be formed between the fatty acid and the sodium hydroxide or the base you are using. So note that principle, then note your procedure. That's basically what you can. Then they can ask you, how does it relate to biochemistry? Be able to tell them that this is related to industrial biochemistry. It's a pure biochemistry topic, so be bold when you're saying it. Tell them it's related to industrial biochemistry, and with the knowledge of biochemistry, you can produce different brands of soap using the knowledge of biochemistry. And you can use enzyme to catalyze the soap production process. I don't know much about that too, how you can use enzyme to catalyze that, but you can do your research on that. Okay, possible questions on fasting blood glucose test. Amina, I've said that, so you can check that. I just said a few minutes ago, so let me know if you were not there when I said it. Possible question on urinalysis, blood in urine. Okay, good. Is blood supposed to be in the urine? If yes, how? Is it not supposed to be in the urine? So what can make blood to be in the urine? That's one thing you should note. Blood is not supposed to be in the urine, first of all. So what are the possible causes of blood in the urine? What are the steps in determining blood in urine? Okay, so blood in the urine. Sorry, they are singing in one church and I wanted to be tempted to sing along, but let me concentrate. So how can you rectify this blood urine? What can you recommend for people with blood in the urine? Or what possible sickness or disease do you think might cause this? So that's that. White blood cell differential count. Stephanie, white blood cell differential count. So you should note, the first thing you should note is the difference between white blood cell differential count and total white blood cell count. They are two different things. So note the difference between white blood cell differential count and total white blood cell count. Total white blood cell count, you are just counting all the white blood cell present when you view under the microscope. You are just counting all the white blood cell present without taking note of the types of the white blood cell. But white blood cell differential count, you are telling them, okay, from this blood sample, I'm seeing, you're viewing under the microscope, I'm seeing 2 basophils, I'm seeing 3 eosinophils, I'm seeing, so you are taking note of the different types of white blood cell. Do you get that? In white blood cell differential count, you are counting the different types of white blood cell and not just all the white blood cell you are seeing. You are taking note of the different types. So that's that. Then the principle of the determination. Then note the principles and the procedures in your fingertips. Please, if you've not reacted to this video, please. I'm the one talking since. You are not even saying anything. You are just dropping question. And I'm here. I want to kill myself. Just talking. If you've not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. It will not cost you anything. Not be emptying subscription now. They are not charging you for subscription. Just click on the subscription button. Like this video if you not like this video. It will encourage me. Just like the video. Then that reaction button. Give me fire. Give me love. There. You see, you see the way I will just be talking. I just drop that one love now. You just see. It's just touching me like this. Touching me somehow. Alright, so Basically, that's that about white blood cell differential counts. I mean, how many topics do you have? How many topics? How many topics do you have? Okay, so but I'll still answer you. Bioremedy. I know you are dropping for your friends. You are your friends' keeper. It's good. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's not bad. Bioremediation of crude oil polluted site. Oh, good. This was my project topic. This was my project topic. You know, I polluted soil using crude oil. I polluted soil using crude oil. So after polluting the site using crude oil, I was trying to remediate it. But what I used actually was fungi remediation. So I planted mushroom on the polluted site to see how the mushroom could remediate. Then after that, I analyzed the soil to see how you were able to do that. So possible questions, just environmental biochemists, there are plenty in that department too. So just be prepared for question. Anybody that have that topic. So bioremediation of crude oil polluted site. First, know the procedures. That's the most important thing there. Know the procedures of the bioremediation. Know the different types of bioremediation that can be used. You can use in situ remediation or ex situ remediation. In situ remediation, you are remediating the soil at that point. Ex situ remediation, you take out the soil to somewhere and remediate it. Do you get? So you can excavate the soil and take it to somewhere, to maybe to a biocell, and remediate it. Or so not just know. And what will determine the technique, the remediation technique you are to use, is the level of contamination of that site. The level of contamination of that site will determine what you are to, the method, the technique you are to use. So note the principle and note the procedure at your fingertips. That will help. The topic is a good one. Possible question, Arinzi. Possible question on triglyceride determination. Triglyceride determination. Okay, triglyceride is actually 3 fatty acid molecules attached to glycerol. Glycerol is a how will I say it? Triol. Glycerol is a triol, meaning it has 3 alcohol attached. So if you attach one fatty acid, it's actually a 3 carbon compound. If you attach one fatty acid, you have monoacyl glycerol, or you call it monoglyceride. If you attach 2 fatty acids to glycerol, you have diacyl glycerol, or you call it diglyceride. If you attach 3 fatty acids to the 3 alcohol, you have triacyl glycerol, also called triglyceride. So if you don't call it triglyceride, you call it triacyl glycerol. Now the possible questions: what are the steps in the determination of this triglyceride? What steps, what are the procedures involved? What are the principles involved in this determination also? So you know the principles also. Do you get that? Know the principle, the procedure, and that's that. Test for protein, for total protein in the blood. Okay, so total protein in the blood. Total protein in the blood. You should note the right amount, the normal range of total protein in the blood, the normal range. And if it is above that normal range, what is the implication? What is it implying? What health challenge is it pointing to? Then note your procedures and your methods. The topics are still plain to you. Jesus. Possible questions on HIV test. HIV test. Note the procedures involved. Note the principle of the test. If you are using the test strip method, know the principle of that test strip. The test strip works based on antigen-antibody reaction because it's a serological reaction. It's a serological test. Now that test strip reaction, that test strip is already have an antigen inbuilt in it. So if an antibody is in the blood against HIV virus, if it's in the blood, it will react to the antigen already on the test strip, and it will cause a visible reaction. So there will be a reaction, and a visible line will show there. Good. Also note that HIV is not a disease. HIV is the virus that causes the disease AIDS. You get that? Possible questions on urine microscopy, culture, and sensitivity test. So this is actually a 3-in-1 test. Urine microscopy, you are checking the urine using under the microscope to know maybe the composition of that urine, to check possible microorganisms found in the urine. Culture test, You are culturing the urine so that microorganisms in the urine can grow, so you can view the colony formed. Then sensitivity test. You before you add, you recommend any antibiotic or any drug. You check how sensitive the antibiotics are to the bacteria or anything you find in that sample. So note the principle and the procedures. Amarachi, possible questions on biochemistry of the primary beer fermentation process. This one you learn it as a topic: beer fermentation, beer production. Now note the steps in beer production. I think, let me see if I can still remember, because I did it, I learned it. The steps in beer production. I know what you'll be using for your, what you'll be using, some of the things you'll be using in beer production. You'll be using hop. Do you know hop? What makes the beer bitter? That gives it that bitter taste. You'll be using, there's this leaf they used to use, I'm trying to remember. But the first step is steeping. Steeping, you allow the stuff to, you place it in water, barley, you place it in water and allow it to germinate, and you take the blah 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 blah, you allow it to ferment. Fermentation, now you are converting the sugar in that wheat or in that barley or anything you are using. Fermentation, you are converting the sugar to alcohol. So note that principle of fermentation. Fermentation is actually conversion of sugar to alcohol in the presence of yeast. That is why when you are producing beer, you add yeast to, and there are two types of yeast in beer production: top fermenter and bottom fermenters. All right. So note the principle and the procedures. Possible question on ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate. ESR is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. The possible questions on erythrocyte sedimentation rate. One, know what it is, what erythrocyte sedimentation rate is. Erythrocyte sedimentation, first, erythrocyte means red blood cell. Erythrocyte means red blood cell. Now, red blood cell, if you take in blood and put, if you take blood and put in a test tube and you allow it to stand, the rate at which the red blood cell, that red stuff, sediment, goes down is called the erythrocyte sedimentation rate. And the rate at which it goes down have a whole lot to say about the health condition of that person. It can imply inflammation. The rate of red blood cell sedimentation, erythrocyte sedimentation rates, can show the health status of an individual. So know the procedures of this your test and the principle of the test, and also the result of the test. The result of the test, what is the implication of that result? What's the clinical significance of that result? Cardilobari, I'll be rushing it a little now because so I can attend to everybody. Cardilobari says liver function test, AST activity. Okay, I've talked about liver function test. So note about liver function test. Then AST activity. Note, AST is an enzyme. What reaction is AST catalyzing? What reaction is AST catalyzing? So note the reaction that AST is catalyzing, and know the principle of the reaction. Also, the principle of the reaction. Now, what level is the normal range of AST activity? So if the range is above a certain level, we say, okay, this is what it means. If it is below a certain range, this is what it means. So you have to note that. Belema Ezekiel, possible questions on pregnancy test. Okay, pregnancy test. The possible questions you can get from pregnancy test. One, the principle of the test. If you are using test strip method, urine or blood. Now, why do you normally use early morning urine for pregnancy test? Now, there is a hormone found only in pregnant women. The name of that hormone is HCG, I think, human choroidal gonadotropin. Yeah, that is it. Human choroidal gonadotropin. Now, if you're not pregnant, you don't have that hormone. And why they normally recommend early morning urine is that hormone, that human choroidal gonadotropin, is always concentrated in that urine, in early morning urine, than afternoon urine or evening urine. Then blood, if you are using blood for the test, you allow the blood to separate first. The blood cells should separate from the plasma. You use the plasma for the test. I was in the clinic one of the days and a woman came for pregnancy test. I took her blood samples and I said, Madam, you have to come back after some time to get your results, because I wanted the blood to separate. I wasn't using centrifuge. You can actually use centrifuge to centrifuge the blood, to spin the blood and allow it to so it can separate fast. I wasn't using centrifuge. So I asked her to come back. She said no, she needed the result immediately. What I did was I used the whole blood like that. But if you're using the whole blood like that, you have to do it with all technicality so that the red blood cell will not affect the lines, because there is how you pour the blood on the strip and you will not even see your result. But normal thing allow you to sediment to separate first. So note the principle of the test. The test strip already contains the substance that will react with the human choroidal gonadotropin, and a visible reaction will show. So if there are two lines showing the person is pregnant, if it's only the control line showing negative, it's not pregnant. If no line is showing at all, not even the control line is not showing, false result. You have to redo the test. If it is only the other line that is showing and the control line is not showing, it's still bad result. You have to redo the test because in all cases the control line must show. Possible questions on procedures of production of soap. Jennifer, I think I've answered your question now. Procedures on production of soap. To produce soap, you should know you should know your procedure now. You should know your procedure. Add this, add this, add that. I know they make soap. I might not know that very well in my head, but know the procedures in your soap production. The questions they can ask you, what's the principle of that procedure? But your own duty now is to note the procedure, know it very well. Stephanie, possible question on renal function test, urea determination. Renal function test, anything renal, you know they're talking about the kidney. So if you don't call it renal function test, you can call it kidney function test. Now, urea determination, I said something earlier about urea. Urea is actually the end product of protein metabolism. Note, I did not say protein digestion. There is a difference between end product of protein digestion and end product of protein metabolism. The end product of protein digestion is amino acid. This amino acid will move from your small intestine now, will move into the bloodstream, and in the bloodstream it will be transported to the liver. And in the liver, this amino acid will be broken down, and you have the amino part and the carboxylate part. So the amino part and the carbon skeleton, the amino part can be ammonia or ammonium ion, which is toxic to the system. It's very, very toxic. Your body will not be like, remember all these things in your liver, your body will not be like, how do I take care of this toxic ammonia or ammonium ion? So it will not go through the urea cycle. It will not go through the urea cycle, and the ammonia now will be used to form urea, which is soluble. So the urea now will now be transported from the liver to the kidney for excretion. Now your topic now starts from there, urea determination, renal function test. Possible questions you can be asked. The amount of urea in your liver, what does it have to tell about the state of your kidney? So what is the normal range of urea that should be found in your kidney? What's the normal range? What's the abnormal range? If it is above certain level, what is the health implication? Then note your steps, all your steps. The questions are still plenty. The questions are still plenty. But I will attend to all of you. So just hold on. If you've not liked this live stream, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Subscribe to this. I will attend to all your questions. So just stay put. Don't leave the stream. I will attend to all your questions. Okay. So next person. Next question there. Hormonal assay. Possible questions on hormonal assay. So hormonal assay, first of all, know your procedure very well and know the principle. And this your topic, Stephanie, is a little wide because you are not specific on the particular hormone you are looking at. It's still good, but you have to be prepared to answer any question. So just know your procedure. There are different types of hormones, but know the general procedures of determining the hormone of this assay. Know the procedure and the principle. If you know the procedure very well and the principle of the procedure you are using, you shouldn't have any problem. Nubia Somtochukwu. If I'm not pronouncing your name well, pardon me. Possible question on the determination of potassium ion using the ISE machine. Okay, I think I've said that. I said either you are using either even if your ion is sodium ion, potassium ion, chloride ion, they all have the same possible questions. So just know ISE machine, ion selective electrode, is selective. First of all, know the principle, and I said it works based on the Nernst equation. I think so, Nernst principle. So know the principle, how the machine works, and the procedure that we do. Jennifer, how many topic you get? Okay, possible questions on procedures on production of soap. Jennifer, I guess I've answered that. Hope you've noted it. The possible questions on DNA extraction of fungi. I don't really get this question, Eddie. Is it DNA extraction from fungi or DNA extraction of fungi? If it is of fungi, then I don't really know what the question is talking about. So please throw more light on the question. Is it DNA extraction from fungi? Let me know. So while I'm waiting for that, let me attend to another person. Arinze say possible questions on triglyceride determination. I was not there here when explained. Please, this video is recorded. So just go back and you'll see where I explained that. You see, I explained it a few minutes ago. So you can just scroll back from live, scroll back and check where I explained that. But in case you don't see it, let me know. So I will talk about that a little. Possible questions on sodium ions, determination of sodium ions in water, melody in water using the ISE machine. Okay, I've talked about ISE machine, and any ion you are using, it is fine. It is the same question. But if you have specific questions you want me to talk about, let me know too. David Precious, thank you, man. You're welcome, good neighbor. Neighbor that we see once in a while. This guy. Neighbor that we don't even see. This kind of neighbor, 7. Okay, so Chisom, urinalysis, blood in urine. Chisom, I've answered that question. Were you not here when I talked about it? Let me know. Amarachi, possible questions in biochemistry of the primary beer fermentation. I've talked about beer fermentation. Amarachi, let me know if you are here when I talk about that. Then Jennifer, okay, you're welcome. Sorry for your network. Okay, Ologe, gluten test. Okay, gluten, for those of you that worked in bakery or any other pastry sub stuff, should know about gluten. Gluten is actually a protein. Gluten is actually a protein that is it's a composite of 2 other proteins. So gluten have 2 components. Let me see if I can remember. Gliadin and glutenin. I think that's it. I think it should be. So gluten is made up of gliadin and glutenin, and they are linked together by disulfide bonds. Think disulfide bonds. And so you should note all those things: the composition of gluten, how it is involved in dough rising, how it makes the dough rise, how it is involved in forming a network that traps carbon dioxide, making the dough to rise during bread production. But let me know, this gluten test, Olege, let me know, this gluten test you're talking about, where did you do your IT? Is it in a bakery? So I can relate my explanation there. Is it in a bakery, or what exactly is it related to? Because this one I'm talking about now is related to bread making. So let me know the where you did your IT. Amarachi, you're welcome. Okay, Eddie said from fungi. So DNA extraction from fungi. Now note the procedures involved in DNA extraction from fungi. That is the basic thing you need to note. The step-by-step procedure in DNA extraction from fungi. Step-by-step. Note the step-by-step. It's actually a very, very good topic. And if you did the practical, it's an added advantage. So note the principle of the method of DNA extraction and the procedure. That's the most important thing. But now you're welcome. God bless. Amen. At this point, I've exhausted your questions. I've answered all your questions. Any other question? If you've not reacted to this video, please react to it and also share this. There are many persons out there that need to hear this. One thing you do for me now is, as you finish watching this live stream, don't just leave. Share this video to your platforms, your different groups. If you are in your, I sincerely appreciate you for that. Please share this on your, share this on your platform. Share this to anyone that you know this video will help. At this point, I'm done with this live stream. If you still have any question, drop it in the comment section. I will respond as soon as I see it. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribe. How many times am I saying it now? Subscribe. I'm Excellent Simplified. Subscribe to my channel. I wish you good luck in your defense, in your IT defense. I wish you huge good luck. And I'm waiting for your testimony. After your defense, I'll be waiting in my DM. I'll be waiting for your good news in my DM. I want to celebrate with you. After your defense, I want to know how your defense went, how you defended. I would like to know so I can clap for you. So I'll be waiting for your response after your defense. I'll be waiting for that. And if I can come around for your defense, I will come around to take a picture with you. No, I'm not sure. Well, I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck in your defense. I wish you good luck and success. Just relax, calm down, take a deep breath, and go and succeed. You get? Pray before you leave the house. So pray that no lecturer will disturb you there, because there are some lecturers that all they are doing there is to find faults. Pray that those lecturers should not be there when you are defending. When you are defending. All right. So that will be that. Have a nice day. I love you all. I wish you success. This IT must get an A. You must get an A. Have a nice day. Thanks for being part of this live. Like and subscribe to this video. Share this video. Thanks for being part of this video. Bye. See you in my other videos.